What is up, guys? We're back. Welcome to season 2 of Not Your Daddies. My name is Eric.
And I'm Pete.
And we are Not Your Daddies. Okay, so it's been a while since we've been back.
Yes.
Or it's been a while before we came back. Or it's been a while since we've been out here doing our podcast episodes. But we have been doing vlogs. So
yeah, we've been doing vlogs,
pretty
YouTubes,
productive.
not so much TikToks, but we are getting back into that.
Yeah, we're trying to get back into everything. So we have decided that it's time for us to do it. I know that we had already established that we were going to do it since like 3 months ago. But, you know, a lot of stuff got in the way. We kind of weren't able to do that. But I think I'm glad we're kind of back.
We're getting back into it.
Yes. So the difference between our...
It was our pilot, our trial season. Sink or swim.
Yeah. So it's still kind of floating there. So it hasn't sunk yet. But there's a difference between our podcast episodes and our regular vlogs, because I like that with our podcast episodes, we can kind of sit and talk and discuss things that you and I haven't really actually talked about in the 10 years that we've been together. I feel like childhood stuff and all of that. So it's good to have
like in depth.
Like in-depth conversations with one another. So I love that, and I kind of miss that about our episodes. And then kind of sharing stuff with
everybody else.
You guys, whoever's
hot topics and whatnot.
Yeah. So I know today's episode is a hot topic because we follow these influencers, like them. I guess a half of the people involved in today's topic. But before we do, we're going to do a pit and peek of our week. What do you think has been your pit of the week?
Pit of the week. It's been so hard getting back into working out, and I know we need to, or I know I say we because we both feel the same way with my depression, and then just being like, it gets me in a really sunky, like sluggish mood. And some days are good, some days are bad, and just some days are lazy and mentally overwhelming and whatnot. I just haven't been in the mood, but it needs to change around because I've gained so much weight. I gained the 20 pounds I lost through CrossFit. I gained them all back, and it doesn't make me feel good. So it's health-wise and mental-wise, it just needs to change around. Now, as far as my peak of the week, I'm glad that we're starting this again. We've kind of been like putting a lot of stuff as far as like for the house and other little projects on the back burner, and we have decided to just kind of start chopping off at that list that we keep pushing to the side. Pretty much.
I like that because there's been, I hate that we have a list of things that we say that we're going to do, and then we just kind of never did it, especially stuff with the house, obviously. And it's there. It's there. We've been procrastinating for whatever reason, but I think it's gonna be a big turnaround for us once we get started. It'll be perfect because we're gonna see the difference and be like, you know what, let's just continue with this.
We've already been almost at the house here for what, going on 10 years
since 2018. So
we still have 3 years to go, but
yeah.
Nonetheless, like at first we were just kind of doing whatever with it, and then we just stopped doing anything to it at first. And it's like a car. You need to do maintenance to a car in order for it to continue, getting the most out of it. And the same thing with the house. There's just been little things, nothing super major, thank God. But, little updates we've been thinking of doing, we've been wanting to do, and it's just already time.
Yeah, and I feel like those are, we're not the only...
And they're more like aesthetic things.
Yes, it's more
cosmetic than actual physical things.
Yeah, so I know there's things that we can do to like kind of upgrade the house. The good thing about our house is, even though technically our house is like a cookie cutter house because there's so many of the same layout through our neighborhood, but it's a modern quote unquote cookie cutter house, so we can do so much to it and still keep it like the modern look. Like I want to add like black framing because everything in our house is white except our kitchen, so I want to kind of switch it. I want our doors and the frame to the doors to be black, like in the hallways and stuff, and then I want the kitchen that is like blackish brown to be white. And then I love that you
backsplash.
Yes, and then I love that you mentioned the sage color, because now we're on the same page of
and then
that
gold accents here and there. And aside from the cosmetic stuff, like mainly painting, inside we want to do some new landscaping to the front of the house. I think that's about it, to the front, to be honest.
And that's actually something that we're going to bring you guys along, because we will be vlogging about it. So in our other videos, you're able to see that throughout, like, the process from finish to end. So we're starting with one project and then kind of moving our way out to the rest. So my pit, I think my hair.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I have been...
For the people who have not seen our videos in quite a while.
Yeah.
Right now my hair is slicked back in a transitioning ponytail. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with mine either.
But honestly, it looks really good the way you have it now. I love it. I like that you can actually make a little ponytail with yours already, and just kind of, do the little tricks that I told you on top, and it looks really good. I'm currently in the awkward stage where I just want to just shave it off. And in fact, I even made a little poll on Facebook with my friends and family, and everybody's like, shaved, and there's like
nobody said like leave it long.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, except my mom was just like, you look good with both ways. But I don't want to shave it because I don't want to regret it and just be like, you know what, because I've been wanting it long for the longest time.
And then the second time you've tried to, this is the second time you're growing it out. And the first time I had it way longer. Yeah,
the first time I had it way longer, but it was easier to manage because I was still shaving the sides, and it was just the top, and it was like easier for me to like make a ponytail or whatever. And now it's like I'm trying to let everything grow, and it's like, I feel so dirty. Technically, I feel really dirty now. I wear a lot of headbands, and I kind of try to keep the wet look, but then I think, if I have it long, am I always going to have it in a ponytail? Like, I don't know. I'm there. So that's my pit, because I'm undecided, or very trying to see way out.
Mentally messing with your head, right? Like, you don't feel good about yourself.
No, I don't.
Aside from our weight, the hair. Yeah,
I don't. And then my peak of the week, I think, is my hair. No.
Oh my gosh.
I want to say, actually, having a plan of doing making changes, like as far as like our life and our lives, for here, for the house, and just a way of wanting to live. I feel I wasn't say we're single. We're not single, obviously, but we don't have.
That's news to me. Excuse me.
We don't have kids, and I feel like it should be easier for us to kind of maintain the house, clutter free. But we buy a lot of things, and it's like, okay, now it's time to stop buying things, and which we've stopped actually.
Yeah,
but
drastically compared to before.
I know. Before it was like Amazon purchases, like every single day we would get like a package, unless my baby's getting packages that I don't know of.
No.
But it's
the cats are hiding them.
I know.
I've drastically have stopped because I was getting very obsessive with buying anything, like toys and knickknacks and products for this, products for that, and I just it's just kind of like, it just had like a little mind epiphany, and just like, you know what, honestly, the main reason, guys, I have stopped buying things, aside from I just can't deal with the clutter anymore. I know it sounds kind of like looking way too into it, but after all the fires happened in California, like kind of like hit me in the back of the head, in the sense of like, first, we have way too much things that we have, and between both of us, we have way too many things that anybody should have in the first place, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not organized, then like, and it's just a pile of junk, then what's the point? You're not even displaying it. Second of all, I thought to myself, God forbid anything were ever to happen in the world in general. I'm like, what are we gonna do with all that stuff? It's just kind of like,
and it's just stuff, and it's not, and I don't want to say that it's just junk, because it's not junk, but it's stuff that we collect, where it's like, you know what, I think we're a little past this stage already. We kind of can move forward and get rid of those. Like, even though I would probably I collect dolls. I would only keep like the limited edition
Essentials.
stuff and all the important stuff, and everything just kind of get rid of. And we're going to do that for sure. I feel like with everything that we have as far as like what we collect as far as like action figures and Funkos and dolls and stuff, we could definitely open a small little shop, and that would be our inventory for the longest time without us even having to invest in it, because we have so much stuff. As far as everything's in boxes. The majority of things is in boxes. I have an
and what's not in boxes is like in mint condition.
Yeah, it is. We take really good care of our stuff, which is a good thing. So that's my peak. Even though it sounded like a pit for some reason, but it's my peak.
Yeah, I feel like it's just etching away at things little by little by little till you start finally seeing a change in a space, and then it gives you more motivation to keep going.
Yeah.
And kind of digging out at it more, but it's a process.
It is a process. And then really quick, I know right before we jump into our main topic, I did want to kind of address some things, like not about us obviously, but I did want to kind of bring up some stuff. Like locally, we've had some unfortunate stuff happen with and technically it's some of the people that we know, but recently there was this car accident. This is mostly a PSA type of thing where it's like, don't drink and drive, and this is for anybody who's listening, and just kind of public service announcement to just kind of be more cautious of yourself and others. This past weekend there was a 2-vehicle car accident, and one of the drivers, which is the person that we know, was the driver at fault, which is the person that we know, was drunk, and it's all over social media, or at least our
especially
local
locally,
social media.
It's like a storm.
Yeah, it's everybody. That's all everybody's talking about. That's all we see on our feed. At least that's all I see on my feed on TikTok. And our local like Facebook, I guess, and
local news as well.
Yeah, local news
covering it like crazy.
I mean, the sad part is two people died, and one of them was an Uber driver, and he was on his way home, and that's the person that they crashed into. I think he was 54 years old, and it's just kind of sad to know that
in the early mornings of that day,
like at
Friday,
2:45 in the morning.
I thought you said it was at 5 a.m.
No, it was 2:45. Like 2 something.
When they reported it.
Yeah, I guess
5.
so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
I feel like, just from piecing the things together, this person we know, and another gentleman that was 20 years old.
He was 20, yeah.
Yeah, he was really, really young. They were out drinking, posting on social media, stories. They must have had quite a bit of drinks, and then apparently from what we've read, they were racing with another car down the street, and this person didn't stop at the red light. He kept going and crashed into the other car.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was a fatal accident, killed the other person, and then the driver, his passenger, also died. And there's, been reports that he just started running out of the car, his truck, hiding.
That's more of a hearsay, I feel. That's
allegedly
people stuff that say in the comments. You can't really believe everything that you hear, but it's just kind of, if he did do that, it's like a sad thing to just kind of leave
leave the scene,
your partner, your friend there. I wouldn't want anybody to go through that. It's just sad to know, because especially like young people that they're just living their life, like starting to live their life, and I feel they don't feel like they have as much responsibility. Although this person, the driver, was 40, is 40, and it's just the reason I say it is because I know growing up, I think we felt that we were like invincible, and we felt like, nothing's gonna happen. I don't drink, but I know a lot of people who do, and they used to drive home drunk or whatever. But it's sad. Thinking of like what the whole situation is sad, especially knowing the person that caused everything is just like kind of feels a little different. Kind of, you don't know what to feel. Like I know that he's getting so much hate, like from
He's getting
locally.
dragged everywhere.
It's like everywhere. So
Especially by one person.
yeah, I just want to put that out there where it's like, don't drink and drive, guys.
Trust me, in personal experience, I used to drink a lot when I was younger, and sometimes I was doing fine. Sometimes I had way too many drinks, and there were a lot of occasions where I would drive home slightly buzzed or more than buzzed. I'd always say, "Oh, I live a couple blocks away," which is totally fine, and I did. At that time, I lived maybe like 4 or 5 blocks away from the local bar we would go to, and that was it. And never a big deal, whatever. But who knows? One of those nights might have been not the best moment for me, and it could have caused an accident. Luckily, I never did. And over time, just kind of being more cautious of the way I drank. If I was going to drink, somebody was going to drive, and just making other changes. And overall, now I just don't drink at all. Or if I do, Eric's with me, and I have like 1 or 2 drinks, and that's it. And a lot of times he's like, "Let's have a drink," and I'm just kind of like, "Nah." Or if we go to the beach and we're at the hotel, we're not going to be driving, I'll have a drink or 2. But honestly, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to in the past. I kind of
been a good influence on him, guys.
Now I just prefer a lot of sweet drinks like Cokes and
coffees.
And coffees.
We went to go get a little Starbuckies for our first day back. So my babe got me a caramel ribbon crunch frappuccino, and then you got the
I got the pink drink.
My babe was like, it's so basic because he felt like I was pressuring him. I was pressuring him. I was like, I thought you knew what you wanted. Honestly, I thought I was going to get like a hot coffee. But
I wanted something I wasn't sure what I wanted. I just wanted something fresh.
Yeah.
And then I normally don't get that drink, but I was like, I'll just take that one. And I was like, I know it's going to be sweet. It's going to be cold. So
then we got a little pastry, which is like waiting for us in the kitchen. But we'll get to that one afterwards.
But yeah, overall, guys, be very cautious. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but just don't drink if you can't handle it. If you do have a, what's it called? A
designated driver or
Uber or drink at home or just be cautious.
I feel like just be more responsible.
One thing that I always tell Eric, every time we go and every time we have a family get together, and especially during the holidays, I always ask everybody, like, please text us when you get home, or we message them like, did you get home?
Even when we just hang out with friends, we have a group of friends we hang out with. Everybody, we're all together in a group chat. It's like we're home. It's like, I know it's like
in the back of my head, exactly what just happened is what always worries me, because you're driving home safe. You maybe you're DD or you're not, or anyways, you're driving home, and then it takes that one moron who is going to the bars, is coming from the bars, whatever, and boom.
Those are the ones that, because they're drunk, they think they're invincible.
Yeah.
And then stuff like that happens, and it's sad. Honestly, it's sad for the families that just lose their loved ones. And
especially in that manner.
But yes, especially in that manner. But moving on to our main topic.
Yes.
I know if you guys follow these influencers, even if you don't follow them,
I'm sure they've been popping up.
They've been popping up everywhere
on your algorithm everywhere.
So, we follow Louie Castro and Adam Ray, who is from San Antonio, just a few hours away from us. We shout out to them, but we follow them a lot.
For quite a while.
Yeah, we've been following them for a while.
When TikTok during quarantine started, Adam Ray started with the whole Rosa thing, and he blew up, and he's been amazing with that. So we started following him since then, and Louie for quite some time on YouTube, and then
I think
Instagram.
Before they even became friends, but now that they're
definitely before they were friends.
Yeah, so they're the thing with them. What are your thoughts? Okay, so just to kind of paint everybody the picture. With if whoever hasn't seen the whole drama, you're behind. Go check my TikToks. So we went out to I think it was like an event, like an influencer event, and they met up with somebody else who's an influencer. His name's Lucas, and they invited him to one of the bars, or they invited him to WeHo, which is West Hollywood, and he says that, or he's alleging that his drink was spiked, and it says like it was drugged. And then there was like an altercation with them. Like I'm gonna give you guys
A shorthand.
like the kind of the bullet points of it. And there was an altercation with Louie's boyfriend and Lucas, because I guess Lucas tried to, or was hitting on Louie, and he kissed him, and then that broke out. But then there was that whole situation with Lauro, which is Adam's boyfriend. So after the altercation, Adam took Fern, which is Louie's boyfriend, he took him home, and then Lauro and Louie stayed behind with Lucas, and then Lauro and Lucas left, and they left Louie by himself. This is allegedly, and then somebody took Louie home. But then there's a video of Lauro and Lucas kissing or making out or something, and yeah, like that's kind of, I feel like that's what kind of broke everywhere, because that, I feel like that's what made Lucas make the video of them, and then like he made this long video, and he was talking about, you know, how he felt like he wasn't, they didn't care for him, and then, you know, they weren't checking up on him, and this and that happened, and he was in the hospital, and there was like drug tests, but I feel
that he was. I feel like he was implementing or implying that he was essayed.
Yeah, I think
allegedly by Lauro or
by somebody in the group.
Somebody.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I don't believe him, but I also don't want to say I do believe him.
Yeah.
I do feel like he says he doesn't remember anything, but I do. There's been countless videos of him in the past where they show that he's been exaggerating stuff, or like he's
I feel like
been,
the boy who cried wolf.
Yes.
And then after a certain amount of time, it's kind of hard to believe whether it's true or not.
Yeah. So whether it happened, I don't know. I do know there's a video of them kissing. So that to me is like what kind of stuck out because of Adam, you know, since Lauro is his boyfriend. Although we watch Adam's videos a lot, so we have an opinion on him, a personal opinion on Lauro, where it's like I personally feel that he is I don't know, he's attention seeker. I'd always felt like in the videos, in Adam's videos, where he kind of wants to be the center of attention. Mm-hmm. To me, it stood out. It stood out a lot when Adam was doing that video with Manny, and
oh my god, yes, that's true. That's so
that's
cringy.
The first time that we kind of
noticed
like, this guy, and it was like during the Christmas time.
They're doing like a makeup challenge.
They were doing a makeup challenge, and then you and I were like, okay, this guy.
He just kind of like popped in, like, oh, I didn't see you there. Hi.
I personally think that was like one of the first. After that, I started noticing everything, and then I can't watch his stuff personally. And he has a channel. I can't watch his stuff. I'm not subscribed to him. I don't follow him. I just feel like there's something about him that's like kind of off. And then that Lucas guy, I didn't even know who he was until
I didn't know. I'm like, who
that whole
is this
drama
person?
thing.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So Eric, this happened over the weekend, like all the drama that broke or whatever. And Eric showed me one video, and I was like, what the heck is this? So, you know, we started deep diving into TikTok, going back and forth. We saw the one with Louie, like, you know, kind of giving his side of the story, whatever. Then Adams, and saw his. And then all of us, and then we jumped into the Lucas one that he.
Well, first it was the Lucas one, and then.
Well, I saw Louis first, and then I went to Adams, and then I went to.
Yeah.
Because I assumed it was going to be like a domino effect, you know. Uh-huh. And then I saw what they were referring to when I saw Lucas's, and then we saw all of a sudden Lauro put a video to. His was very kind of like choppy, like as if he was leaving out important parts, or kind of like.
Well, that's the same thing I felt about Lucas's. Like,
it was very like
choppy.
Very choppy. I don't know. It just seemed a little off.
It didn't seem genuine.
And Louis and Adams were just like straight to it. They were being genuine. There was no cutting. Mm-hmm. There was no like. I don't know. It just seemed more flowy, more believable.
I feel like even if there was cutting, I mean, everyone wants to edit a video where it's like you don't want to put unnecessary things in there, but I just feel like the way Lauro was came off in his video. It was just very like, I feel even like the fake crying to me. I was like, okay, dude, like what the heck? Like, I don't know. There was just something about his words like, I don't believe you. I don't. And we're not the only ones, because so many people on social media. And I remember telling you, look, these people are saying the same thing that we were saying about him, where it's like he was
unfortunately, and when we started watching his videos or Adam's videos, and he would start coming out, I would always tell Eric, I'm like, oh, he gives me like a kind of that obnoxious boyfriend that's always around when, even though you don't want him around and you want to hang out with your friend, but it's like, oh, he brings the annoying boyfriend with him. Yeah, that was like the vibe, or like a clout chaser. Yes. And then I saw some other video where apparently this other guy had been talking to Lauro prior to him dating Adam, and he was like, yes, he's a total clout chaser, that he dumped him because he started talking to Adam. And then just a bunch of people have been calling him out. Even Yoatzi had said one time in a video, I guess they were asking like truth or dare questions or whatever. And they're like, did you get with Adam for clout?
Oh my God.
He's like, no, of course not. And everybody just started laughing. Like, I think it's like an inside joke between them, like, that he probably did. Anywho, so then apparently Louie and Adam were saying that this was the first they ever heard about Lauro kissing Lucas, coming from Lauro's video. That's
right.
So they didn't even know about it. Right. So I think it kind of like blindsided them. And they were on at that time when they were posting all of this on a Sephora event. brand trip. So I'm pretty sure the little PR team was working overtime. Like, oh, this is the worst time. Like, we're the big brand, and all this drama happens.
I did notice because when they were posted the videos, I did it from the hotel room.
Yeah, they were doing from the
and I had forgotten that Louie mentioned that.
But the first you heard about it, we're hearing about it right now.
I know, that's so crazy.
And then remember, a lot of people were like, so if that video hadn't leaked of Lucas and Lauro kissing,
he would have never said anything.
He had never said anything, which is super shady, because then it makes you think.
I would have been so pissed.
And then, can you imagine, like, just in the front of millions of people, like, this guy freaking was over here being a cheater? Yeah,
and then I have seen comments where people say, people have said, well, he came forward about this one because he got shot. So he got
other times had
he got caught, and he said, I got caught into the I just went with it, or he said something like that.
Yeah, something about like, I just went with it.
Yeah, it was like, how many times has he gone with it, or
has he gone along with it?
Yeah, gone along with it. I just went along with it. But then and then that Adam doesn't know. But then I've seen all of these other videos that we've seen the videos.
And then kind of you started looking at them and start noticing. We've seen a lot of compilation videos of Adam's like videos where they chop it up and Lauro's in them, and he kind of like throws little jabs at him, as if indicating or insinuating that he's cheated before.
I mean, and people can work the videos around anything, and but it does kind of make sense because we've seen the actual video, like the full videos, and there is stuff where it's like, okay, it's kind of like a little jab. Like, you go back and it's like, okay, we saw the whole clip, so it wasn't like something that they took from whatever, and it was out of context. It was just like, we've seen it because we've seen in the videos how he acts. Yeah, I just don't like.
I believe it. I'm sorry. He seems like he's just with him for the clout. He does seem like he probably would cheat on his back. He does seem like he'd do something sus and hide it. I mean, it sucks, but if more than one person feels the same way, then more than like you're right.
And he's apparently, I just found out that he's from here.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
It's from here. He's from, we live in way South Texas, guys. It's like 3 hours away from San Antonio. And he's from our area. I actually just found out this recently. So, and then somebody said, of course, he's from the Valley. Like, what do you expect? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh my goodness.
We have that reputation.
I know, give us a bad reputation down here.
But I don't know.
It's unfortunate. Funny. I just feel like Adam seems like a really nice person.
I know. He seems funny, genuine, like him and Louie. I feel the ones that I follow the most as far as
the more relatable
raza, raza influencers. It's him, it's Louie, Adam, and Yoatzi. I follow Yoatzi a lot more than my babe. He'll like watch like some of her videos.
I don't follow her personally, but I do see when you show me. She's funny. I mean, I would see her in Louie's videos all the time.
Like I would, as far as like people that hang out with, it would be them. And then obviously other influencers would be like Laura Lee, Manny, Sebas, and Sarai, although Sarai is like too bougie for us. And you know what, Leslie, because Leslie, we've been following her since Facebook times.
She was, I know, recording in her
bedroom, and then with she moved in with
local.
Alex.
Well, she's not that local, but she's in Texas. Yeah,
I remember that has been since we were at the apartment. So 2017 or 2018, when I showed you her first. 2017. I remember showing my babe of the very first video of her. She was like doing.
I was like, who is this chick?
And because she reminds us so much of our niece Alex, and it's like. And I remember, look at her, the way she talks, the way
she
everything,
acts.
like everything. This is Alex, so that's what caught my eye about her. And she was on Facebook at the time. She wasn't even on YouTube yet. And I remember like following her from then.
I remember people were like, "Why don't you start YouTube?"
YouTube. And look at her now.
She wouldn't do any YouTube. Like it'd be like take a while for her to show them on there. But yeah, there was just been so much drama with that. And then there's been more stuff being called out about that Lucas guy that, that he could allegedly be lying about the drugging. And this is what I have to say about it. Not to, it's going to sound like, and there was a lot of comments of kind of saying what I was saying. I'm
saying what you were thinking.
Saying what I was thinking. Excuse me. They were saying how he should be more. He's an adult, first of all. He should be more responsible with who he was with, where he was at, what he was drinking. And I think, from what I've seen from all the videos, if you feel uncomfortable with the group, first of all, why would you go with them? Yes. Second of all, you're in a grown ass adult. If you're in a situation and you're still in at least a good amount of in your senses. Just call somebody, walk out, call an Uber, call a friend, call a taxi, whatever, and leave. Like that's what you had to do before it got to a certain level that you were not in control of yourself. I don't think personally anybody in that group drugged him. From the comments and what I've read, apparently all that West Hollywood area, the gay clubs that they were at, they're known for allegedly drugging people and roofing them and whatnot. So I think that might have just happened somewhere along the way. They weren't there to babysit him. So if he like staggered, went off on his own for a few minutes, took a drink from somebody else who gave it to him, and didn't even realize it, and he just chugged it. That's his own responsibility to have known better.
Apparently, WeHo is known for drugging drinks. So I guess the bars or that area or whatever, everybody has said that's what they do. They'll drug the drinks. They'll drug people's drinks. Who's to say that they didn't drug Louie's or
maybe
Adam's or friends?
Maybe they didn't drug them enough. Maybe they're more tolerant to drinks. I mean, there's so many open-end questions. I just feel in the end.
But I do feel like you're right as far as because he was saying in his video how he felt uncomfortable. And he was pressured. He was texting his friend or whatever. It's like, you're not a kid. If you feel uncomfortable, you're going to take yourself out of the situation. But he decided to go along with everything that they were doing, and he wanted to go or whatever. And then this is just me, like allegedly, I'm thinking maybe he felt ashamed that he was kissing Lauro and that somebody videotaped them.
That's what a lot of comments were saying, that he has a lot of internal demons that he's handling from past things that he's mentioned in his videos, along with the fact that he may not be fully comfortable with his sexuality, because a lot of people assumed he was gay. Some people say he's bi. I don't really personally follow anything besides what I've just been seeing on the chismes of TikTok, to be completely honest. But you know what? Maybe I do feel like he probably wasn't ready to come out, quote unquote, or be outed in that way, and he's ashamed of it. So he tried to kind of twist the story around to make it work in his favor. But I do feel like he was adding too much sauce to his story, and there were just too many holes in it. Right now, as for with everything that's been out, the only people that I fully believe are Louie and Adam, and that's it. And I am not saying that Lucas is lying as far as like getting drugged and stuff, but I feel like his stuff that he's keeping out, everybody's leaving stuff something
out. Like but I feel like out of everybody, them two are the ones. Lauro, I don't believe for shit. I don't trust him at all, and I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not the only one, and whatever. I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, I feel like he jumped the gun by making that video, and there were just way too many holes in his story, and kind of alluding to things that they were not doing.
Yeah. And whatever it is, I just hope things do get situated with them, because I mean, it's sad because you want to feel as an influencer for them, not that we're influencers, but them influencers. I feel like everybody just kind of wants to focus on their own stuff, like. But there's always stuff happening with influencers where they're like something happens, like James Charles, like something's happening with James Charles, and then now them, and it's like a little bit of everywhere. It's like,
well, man, last week was a drama-filled influencer across the board. There was stories popping up from every way.
Every way. There's the stuff with James Charles. Everybody's always hating on him, like, for all these reasons, and then like the last thing with like Kayla, and then now with Adam, and I think the last people that I would have expected there to be like some sort of drama would have been them. And I still think the same way. Like, I feel like they just kind of do their own pendejadas, and
they're just doing their own business, their own little world, haciendo pendejadas, living life,
but
minding their own business.
This is, I guess, a lesson learned where it's like, don't add people to your group unless it's us. Don't add people to your group. Like, I know Louie was trying to invite him to, party or whatever with them, but it's just hard. I feel personally, we have a very small group, which is we don't hang out with people. This is our group, but mostly because we work. So and we don't party. So I feel like it's a different case, or it will be a different scenario if that were the case. But I feel like as an adult, I say as an adult, if you're in your 20s, you're an adult already. You can make your own decisions. You know what to do with who. It's like you can't be babied. That's where I'm trying to get at, where it's like we're adults, we're definitely not in our 20s, but me in my 20s, I feel like I was a little standoffish with people because I always tried to protect like my way of thinking and everything. I know you said you would party a little more, and it was like a little different for you.
More social, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't like a social butterfly. I definitely took a while to open up to people, especially if I didn't know them. Yeah, I definitely went out a lot more than my babe. Obviously, I wasn't keeping. I'd never kept an eye out for anybody. I just kind of always went with my group of friends. I wasn't out like socializing with strangers that I didn't know unless I got introduced to them through somebody else. Yeah. But I'm always so surprised we didn't run into each other at one point or another. I'm always so surprised.
I was so surprised I thought you were going to say, I'm so surprised I never got drugged.
Oh my God, no. God forbid that. No, I was always super cautious about what I drank. Like, I didn't get my drink myself or through a friend, then I would not take a drink.
Well, the reason
I would always reject drinks from people.
I think why we never ran into each other is because I would rarely go out.
Well, I would always. Oh, well, that too.
And I would never go to like after parties or anything.
Well, I never went to after parties. No? Like a handful at here and there, but not really. Yeah. They were going to say because you were never at the gay bar, but I'm like, I don't go to the downtown before.
No, yeah, I would go to the gay bars, but I think I always hung out with like I never hung out with like gay people. Not never, but I rarely hung out with gay people. So I was always like with my girl friends, and my girlfriends are. We were like always home early. I have my best friend Diana. We would go out. I think we would go out, and we had another friend. Her name's Topacio. I remember one time we went downtown. That's where we would go. We would go kind of downtown area because that's where all the bars are. And she got there with another group of friends. It was another gay guy and some girl who were very stuck up, and Topacio got there with them, and then they got her real drunk, and they kind of pushed her on us. And
they're like, bye, take care of her.
Literally. And Diana and I weren't like drinkers, like much drinkers. I would drink more back then than I did now, but we weren't much drinkers, so we were kind of like, what the heck? So what we did is we went to go drop her off on her, like in one of our cars, and we put her in the back seat to fall asleep, cracked the window, and went back in. It's like, I'm sorry, but yeah. And then, yeah, we
We're
took
not going to
her
ruin
home
our night.
afterwards.
We're not going to babysit you.
And they were always home early. Like, we would never stay till like 2:30, which is like when the bars close. We would always be like, by 1 o'clock, we're already home. And then sometimes it was like more to us where it's like, hey, we're going out tonight. Literally, this was us. We're going out tonight. And then one of us wouldn't answer the phone or whatever. Usually it was her. And she would say, it's because I fell asleep. I was like, okay, it's okay. I wasn't even dressed because I knew we weren't going to go out. So it's just kind of, that was our vibe. We're like kind of more chill. I did always feel like, man, I wish I had a group of gay friends. But then I think about it and it's like, there's so much drama going on with like the gay crowd in our area, and it's like I don't know if I would want to.
I feel like if you're like really into the gay scene down here, know a lot of gay people. It's unfortunate, but it's so dramatic. I feel like everybody knows your business. Everybody's attacking somebody or talking shit about somebody or this and this. I had a lot of gay friends, but I feel like we were always kind of more with straight people.
Yeah.
So it kind of balanced out. And then if they knew a lot of the gay people in the scene, I just didn't associate with them because I felt like I could feel the jealousy, the
vibes,
the vibes,
negative vibes.
Like, I'll just take away from here.
I feel, and I don't want to sound stuck up, but I'm going to sound stuck up, I think. But I feel like right now we get a lot of negative vibes from the gays, like as a couple. I don't know why, but I feel like
That's literally imagine hating me and I'm just here at home and we're like eating takis with our cats and watching TV. That's all we're doing.
Literally, that's what we do. And I feel like we get a lot of hate from people. I've gotten hate messages from people and it's like, what the heck? You don't even
I know when he tells me about messages he gets and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, luckily for me, nobody sends me hate messages. They may think things, but they don't say them to me.
Yeah, so. they send that a lot to us, and it's like, what? Like, I don't even hang out with anybody. Like, I don't know why. And plus, I don't really care. I'm 40. I'm not gonna sit down to anybody's level. I'm an adult, and I'm not about the drama. But the gays are. The most of the gays are here, and it's a little sad. But when I met you, I know. I do think you're like, oh my God, he's a big partier, because, stuff that happened. But plus your friends, like I feel like your friends are like way
they were loud.
Yeah, so that's what my impression was. My impression of you, like as far as like the party scene and stuff. And you already knew by then. I wasn't like drinking or partying or anything, but we're together. If you guys go out and drink, just kind of know who you're going with, know your surroundings, take care of your drinks. Don't accept drinks from anybody else. Don't accept shots from anybody else, and then make sure you're at least with one person that you trust, and you kind of is in your circle to go out. And this goes like all around, because you just kind of never know.
We're all adults. Be more responsible, but.
If you mess up, just take responsibility for it.
Yeah, just take responsibility. I mean, we're all adults. I mean, drink responsibly. If you make a mistake, learn from it. That's the number one thing. Always learn from a mistake. Don't let it just kind of like dwell over you, as long as it's nothing super serious. But also, if you're with a group of friends or with that one friend, don't be that one person that just kind of abandons the other person, leaves them like hanging. At least have the courtesy to be like, you know what, I want to leave. Are you okay? If you give that okay, that's on you.
Yeah, I agree.
But also, like I said, don't be that person that just like ditches the other friend and leaves them there like stranded or, drunk and alone. Or if you as a friend feel like, hey, I don't trust that guy or that person that you want to go with. Like, you're coming home with me. If I take you home and you decide to leave after I drop you off, that's on you.
Yeah.
Because I have had that happen, or like situations where that's happened to people where like they're real tercos, they're stubborn and they want to leave with somebody, or they say they're good and then they take off. And I'm just like, I verbally confirm to you, don't leave, stay here. I'll drop you off. Are you sure about that? Like, I verbalize, and then they take off. Then I have my conscience of like, you know what?
Yeah.
I hope they're okay, but
we're all adults.
But we're all adults. Don't start blaming other people for your screw ups or your decisions.
And I feel like a lot of people want to find blame in others.
Yeah.
And
they want to be held reliable for for their choices.
Yes.
And that's unfortunate.
And then I just want to jump really quick into different topic, kind of same topic, different topic with a different influencer, just kind of different, another not drama, but another tragedy as far as influencers, about that girl who got shot while on her live
oh my
TikTok.
God, yes,
I do want to throw that in here.
To talk about too.
Yeah, so
you go with that one because I don't really know much of it, but what I saw.
So I showed my baby this video. Oh, well, no, I told you about it, and then you saw it when you were at your mom's. But I saw a clip where the influencer was live, and she was Jalisco. And she okay, so the story is, and it's everywhere. That one is everywhere. So the story is that she left her salon, and her friend called her to go back because she had deliveries come in, and they didn't want to leave the deliveries unless she was there. So she went back and she went live, and I'm not sure if she was live already or if she went live as she was there. But she was already suspecting that something was going to happen because she kept making comments like, pues quién será? Like, who could it be? Or maybe they're going to kill me. She didn't make a comment like that. Maybe she did in Spanish. Maybe they're going to kill me.
But like so weird to mention
weird.
That. Like,
yeah, well, there's a reason why.
Well, yeah, there's no reason why. But I'm saying that's so weird.
Yeah, so somebody came in and they gave her a Starbucks drink, and then they gave her a little plush, and then the third one was the one that she was waiting for. And I know that when the third person came in, they asked for her name. She said yes,
confirmation.
And then she muted the live, and then that's when she got shot. Like, she got shot here, and then in the head like twice, and it was just, you can see it. And honestly, at first I thought it was fake because it
looks fake.
Yeah, it looked fake because she kind of where he shot her, she just kind of grabbed like her chest, and then as she's going down, he shoots her, or they shoot her head, I think twice, and that's when you see the blood. And then just kind of the friend comes up and she stops the live, and then you kind of see like half of the friend's face, and then now the friend's like everywhere. Nobody has caught. They haven't caught the guy. Person, no, but they do suspect that the friend has something to do with it, and that her ex-boyfriend had something to do with it because allegedly the boyfriend was a narco, and so there was in a cartel or something, and then that she broke up with him. She was dating other people, and that he did threaten her. That he was going to kill her. Everybody says that for her to have followed her instinct and not stayed if she felt.
Because you said that she kept saying to the friend, I guess who was behind the camera when she was live, well, I gotta go, and that the friend come, no, wait,
no te vayas, stay, wait, just wait a little bit. So she was trying to hold her there.
So she definitely had something going on.
Yeah,
they might have threatened her, or I don't know. I'm just assuming, like, coming up with conclusions.
I feel that it was gonna happen no matter what, whether it was there or not. If she would have left, if she would have left, they would have found a way to do it. It was just, now this was going to be the situation where it's like, okay, we're going to do it now because she was at her salon. But I feel like if she was already a target, no matter what, it would have happened. I think right now she would have still been unalived because she was the target already. So once you have a target like that, I feel like no matter where you are, they're going to do it. They could have even gone to her house, broken in, and then done it there. But it's unfortunate that it happened. And she was so young, 22 or 23 years old. And it's just sad to see like that happen. Not because she's an influencer. I didn't even know her. I had never seen her before. But the fact that you're so young and like all this stuff is living like happening. Life. Yeah, it's sad to know that there's all this hate out there. I guess more than anything.
I told Eric, I'm like, and we see this all the time in movies and shows, and we hear stories about this and that. It's like how, and I mean, we're not in those shoes, so we don't know the situation. We don't know anything about it. But like, how badly of a breakup does it have to be in order for you to have that much hate to want to have the other person shot? Mm-hmm. And unalived.
Yeah,
like, that's and so I feel like to me, just let them live their life. Like, what do you get out of it from that? Like, seriously.
Yep. And then I feel like in Mexico, it's easier for them to just be like, you know what, I don't care for you. I'm gonna
dispose of you.
And I feel like over there, they feel like people are just disposable, which we've seen so many times, like on TV, where it's like stories that people just get kidnapped and just getting kidnapped for. Like, for no reason. For them to be disposed of. And it's unfortunate and sad that all that is going on. And then to see this, like, and have, like, I think she had like over 300 people or 400 people watching her live, like that going on. It's like, it's crazy.
I know.
But her TikTok got banned, I think, because of the live video of what happened. But
I mean, the video is circulating everywhere.
Yes, the video is circulating everywhere.
I mean, they didn't show that specific moment. They blurred it, but I was at my mom's house and we were watching the Mexican news in the morning, and that was like, boom, headline.
Yeah.
Social media influencer or whatever shot on TV, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, on live. Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That being said, guys, that's it for today's first episode of our new season
2 season 2 episode 1, which technically this is going to be episode, I don't know, 7 or 8 or something.
What?
Of the whole podcast.
Oh, okay. I was like, are we recording and I didn't even know about it?
But thank you guys so much for watching if you made it this far. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. Comment down below what you think of the whole drama going on, if you're up to date with it. And
whose team are you on?
Yeah, whose team are you on?
Who do we hate? Who are we supporting?
I don't hate anybody.
We don't hate anybody.
I just don't believe some people, but I am Team Louie and I am Team Adam. Correct. All the way. But I will...
one thing I will say really, really quick. The only person that hasn't made anything publicly announcement has been Fernando.
Which we did see the little clip of them fighting.
Yeah, there was another video. We did see that. We mentioned that. We were going to mention that. There was a new video that leaked yesterday of like a side video.
And we're going to keep seeing a bunch of clips and everything. Other tea being spilled some way or another, because I know there's more stuff that's going to come out, and we are going to watch everything and probably keep you guys posted. But make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, follow us here, subscribe to our channel,
like this video,
and we will talk to you guys soon.
Bye.